Homo erectus is a pivotal species in human evolution, known for its long existence, wide geographical distribution, precise tool creation, and the first species to utilize fire. In this video, I will cover what we know about Homo erectus, such as where did they live? How did they survive for so long? What was their life like? And did they use tools and fire? First, let's talk about their discovery. Homo erectus is believed to have originated in Africa, with the earliest fossils found in East Africa, such as the Turkana boy discovered near Lake Turkana in Kenya. They spread out from Africa to Asia and Europe. In Asia, several sites of habitation have been located. Significant fossil sites include Indonesia and China. These findings suggest that Homo erectus was among the first hominins to leave Africa. The first fossils of Homo erectus were discovered in 1891. Eugene Dubois found a skull cap and a femur on the Indonesian island of Java, which he named Pithecanthropus erectus, later reclassified as Homo erectus. In 1921, a Chinese scientist named Otto Zdansky found fossils near Beijing at Zhoukoudian, China, also known as Peking Man. These remains significantly contributed to the understanding of Homo erectus and confirmed the species' presence in Asia. Homo erectus fossils have been discovered in various locations across Africa, islands in Southeast Asia, Europe, in the Middle East, and even possibly some debated sites in Australia. Here is a comprehensive overview of notable discoveries in these regions, including who discovered them and when they were found. In Lake Turkana, Kenya, the Turkana boy is the oldest known of the species ever found. It was found by Richard Leakey and his team in 1984. It is one of the most complete Homo erectus skeletons ever found. In Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania in 1960, several fossils, including the OH9 skull, was found by Louis Leakey and Mary Leakey. In Kubifora, Kenya, numerous fossils were also discovered by Richard Leakey and his team in 1975 through 1976. Other fossils associated with early Homo erectus was found in Swartkrans, South Africa by Robert Broom and John T. Robinson in 1949. In Dmanisi, Georgia, multiple skulls and mandibles, indicating an early presence of Homo erectus outside Africa, was found in the early 1990s by a team led by David Lord Kipanidze. In Ndandong, Java, Indonesia, several skulls and other fossils indicating a later surviving population was discovered in the 1930s by a Dutch-Indonesian team. In 1936, near Mojokerto, Java, Indonesia, Andoyo, an experienced fossil collector, discovered a juvenile Homo erectus skullcap, sometimes referred to as Perning 1 or the Mojokerto child. This find dated back over 1.5 million years ago. Some scientists believe that the Asian and African fossils represent separate species, so you'll often hear the African variety referred to as Homo ergaster. Discoveries of Homo erectus in Europe and the Middle East have provided crucial insights into the migration, adaptation, and evolution of this early human species. Here are some notable finds in these regions. The discovery in Dmanisi, Georgia by David Lord Kipanidze in 1991 suggests Eurasian fossils are among the oldest evidence of Homo erectus outside of Africa and show considerable variation in brain size and facial morphology, indicating early population diversity. The Soprano man was discovered in 1994 by archaeologist Italo Biditu after being damaged by a bulldozer in Soprano, Italy. It is a key fossil for understanding Homo erectus in Europe. A partial cranium dating to approximately 450,000 to 350,000 years ago exhibit features intermediate between earlier African Homo erectus and later European populations, suggesting a complex evolutionary history. A mandible, found near Heidelberg in Mauer, Germany, in 1907, is the type specimen for Homo heidelbergensis, but it also provides more insights into the presence of Homo erectus-like traits in Europe. The mandible, dating to about 600,000 years ago, shows a combination of archaic and modern traits, once again indicating the transitional nature of populations in Europe. The Ubaidiyah, Israel site was discovered during leveling the ground for agricultural use with a bulldozer in 1959. Soon after, excavations at the site began. They were led by Moshe Stikalis and assisted by zoologist Georg Haas, geologists Leo Picard and Nachman Schulman. It is one of the oldest known hominin sites in the Middle East, providing evidence of early human presence in the region. The site dates to around 1.4 million years ago and has yielded Erectus-style stone tools and faunal remains, but no hominin fossils. The tools show similarities to those found at contemporaneous African sites, suggesting the spread of Homo erectus or their close relatives. Another site discovered in Jesher Banat Yaof, Israel, offers insights into the adaptation and behavior of early humans in the Middle East. Stone tools, animal bones, and plant remains dating to about 790,000 years ago have been found here. Evidence of fire use and the presence of Acheulean tools suggest advanced technological and cognitive abilities of Homo erectus in the region, but again, no actual remains have been found. Nahal Mainaro or Wadi El Mokhara caves, also in northern Israel, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its long sequence of human occupation. While primarily associated with Neanderthals and early modern humans, lower layers at Tabun have yielded artifacts and remains indicating an earlier Homo erectus presence, dating back to around 500,000 years ago. More recent discoveries of Homo erectus fossils and artifacts continue to provide new insights into this pivotal hominin species. Here are some of the most notable recent discoveries and advancements in our understanding of Homo erectus. Found in 2005 and reported in 2013, a remarkably complete skull from Dmanisi, Georgia, is significant for its combination of primitive and advanced features. The discovery suggests considerable variation within Homo erectus and has sparked debates about the classification and diversity of early Homo species. Excavations at the Sangiran, Indonesia site on Java have continued to yield important fossils. For instance, recent finds include additional cranial and postcranial elements that help to better understand the morphological diversity and development of Asian Homo erectus. Advances in dating techniques and new excavations at Zucudian, China have provided more accurate dating of the Peking man fossils. Recent studies suggest these fossils are between 680,000 and 780,000 years old. In Ngandang, Indonesia, recent studies have revised the dating of Homo erectus fossils from the Nganong site, placing them as recently as 117,000 to 108,000 years ago. This suggests that Homo erectus may have coexisted with early modern humans and other hominid species for longer than previously thought. In 2019, a study reported the discovery of new Homo erectus fossils from the Tugen Hills. These remains include partial cranial fossils and postcranial elements, contributing to the understanding of the species' anatomical diversity in Tugen Hills, Kenya. Recent studies emphasize the adaptability of Homo erectus to different environments, from the tropical forests of Southeast Asia to the temperate regions of Europe and the arid landscapes of Africa. This size increase is thought to be linked to their more complex behaviors and improved cognitive abilities. We Homo sapiens have a cranial capacity ranging from about 1,200 to 1,600 cubic centimeters, with an average of around 1,350 cubic centimeters. While they had a smaller brain compared to us, their brain size was a significant step forward in human evolution. The enlargement of the frontal lobe in Homo erectus suggests improved cognitive functions, such as problem-solving, planning, and possibly more complex social behaviors. Some fossils indicate an expansion of Broca's area, which is associated with speech and language processing in modern humans, showing Homo erectus might have had some capacity for complex communication. While direct evidence is lacking, the brain structures suggest the potential for more complex vocalizations and communication than seen in earlier hominins. This could have facilitated coordination in hunting, tool making, and social bonding. The development of parietal and temporal lobes is associated with enhanced spatial awareness, memory, and processing of sensory information, which would have been advantageous for navigation, hunting, and tool use. The occipital lobe, responsible for visual processing, would have been well developed in Homo erectus, aiding in their ability to navigate and interpret their environment effectively. The increased brain size and complexity likely contributed to the development of Acheulean tool technology. The manufacture of these tools required advanced planning, precision, and teaching skills, indicative of higher cognitive abilities. The cognitive advancements in their species likely supported more complex social structures. Evidence of group living and cooperative behavior, such as shared use of space and resources and care for injured individuals, points to sophisticated social interactions. The cognitive abilities of Homo erectus enabled them to adapt to a wide range of environments, from the savannas of Africa to the temperate regions of Eurasia. Their brain capacity for learning and memory would have been crucial for survival in diverse habitats. Turkana boy provides valuable insights into the brain size and development of this species. The skull indicates a cranial capacity of around 880 cubic centimeters, despite being a young adolescent. Fossils from the Dmanisi site show significant variation in brain size and morphology within the Homo erectus population, highlighting their adaptability and evolutionary experimentation. While not as large or complex as the brains of modern humans, the brain of Homo erectus was a crucial step towards the cognitive and cultural capabilities that characterize our species today. Homo erectus had a diverse and flexible diet that varied depending on their geographical location and available resources. Analysis of residues on stone tools and teeth can provide direct evidence of plant consumption. Stable isotope analysis of fossils can provide insights into their diet by examining the ratios of certain isotopes in their bones and teeth. These ratios reflect the types of foods consumed over an individual's lifetime. They're believed to have been both hunters and scavengers. Evidence from butchery marks on animal bones at sites such as Olorgesailie in Kenya indicates that they processed large animals. This includes medium to large herbivores like antelopes, deer, and possibly even elephants. Evidence suggests that they may have exploited aquatic resources. For example, at the Jesher Benot Yaakov site in Israel, fish remains have been found alongside stone tools, indicating that they might have fished or scavenged for fish. Small animals and insects such as termites and other invertebrates could have been an important protein source. In modern hunter-gatherer societies, insects are a significant part of the diet, and this likely applied to Homo erectus as well. They would have consumed a variety of fruits and berries that were seasonally available in their environment. This provided them with essential vitamins, minerals, and carbohydrates. Roots, tubers, and bulbs are rich in carbohydrates and would have been an important part of their diet. Evidence suggests that they might have used fire to cook these starchy foods, making them easier to digest and increasing their nutritional value. Nuts and seeds are energy-dense and nutrient-rich. Homo erectus likely gathered and consumed a variety of nuts and seeds, which would have provided fats, proteins, and other nutrients. Foraging leafy greens and other edible plant parts would have provided essential nutrients, including fiber, vitamins, and minerals. By consuming a balanced diet rich in proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals, Homo erectus supported their energy needs, brain development, and overall health. While concrete evidence of social structure is limited, the complexity of their tools and potential use of fire implies a level of social cooperation and possibly communication. Understanding their social structure is challenging. However, some evidence gives us an idea of what their social habits may have been like. The discovery of multiple individuals at single sites suggests that they lived in groups. The presence of different age groups and both sexes at these sites implies a social structure involving families or small bands. Evidence of shared use of space and resources, such as communal hearths or repeated use of specific locations for toolmaking, supports the idea of cooperative behavior. One notable find at the Dmanisi site is an elderly individual with severe tooth loss and bone resorption, suggesting this individual lived for a significant time without being able to chew food. This implies that others in the group might have provided food or care, indicating social support and cooperative behavior. Similar findings at other sites, such as evidence of healed fractures or disabilities, indicate that injured or less capable individuals were cared for, which would require a level of social cohesion and altruism. It's possible that Homo erectus was a teacher, as evidence shows generational use and creation of tools. Studies of modern primates, particularly chimpanzees and bonobos, provide models for understanding early human social structures. Like modern primates, they might have had hierarchical group structures with complex social bonds and alliances. Comparing the behavior of later hominins, such as Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, who show clear evidence of complex social structures and behaviors, can also provide indirect clues about the social life of Homo erectus. Homo erectus is known for developing Acheulean tool technology, characterized by hand axes and cleavers. These tools were more sophisticated than the Oldowan tools used by earlier hominids, such as Homo habilis. They are a distinctive set of stone tools because they were the first bifacial, or flaked on both sides, design, which demonstrates an increased cognitive ability. The most iconic is the hand axe. These tools have a teardrop or oval shape, with a pointed end for cutting and a broader base for gripping. Hand axes vary in size and were likely used for a range of tasks, including butchering animals, digging, and processing plant materials. Another common type is the cleaver. They have a straight, sharp edge at one end, making them ideal for chopping and cutting. In addition to hand axes and cleavers, Acheulean toolkits often include various scrapers, flakes, and other implements used for scraping hides, cutting wood, and other tasks. They were typically made from fine-grained stones like flint, quartzite, and basalt. They could be flaked predictably and were widely available. They'd use hard hammer percussion to strike the core stone with another stone, detaching large flakes to create the tool's shape. This process required understanding the stone's properties and careful planning to achieve the desired shape. Some exhibit secondary flaking, where smaller flakes are removed to refine the tool's shape and sharpness. This additional step demonstrates foresight and planning, highlighting the cognitive abilities of the toolmakers. Evidence of Acheulean tool creation first appeared around 1.7 million years ago until approximately 130,000 years ago, and have been found across Africa, Europe, and Asia, indicating that Homo erectus had widely adopted this technology. Tool making represents a major technological leap in human evolution. Bifacial design, variety, and widespread use reflect advanced cognitive abilities and adaptability. They likely played a crucial role in survival and success. These tools enabled them to efficiently exploit a wide range of environments and resources, and highlight their ingenuity and capacity for innovation. There is strong evidence to suggest that Homo erectus was the first hominin to control fire at several sites, which would have provided warmth, protection, a means to cook food, a time for social interaction, and even safety from predators. Their use of fire is a subject of significant interest in paleoanthropology, as it represents another major milestone in human evolution. Evidence for controlled use of fire comes from several archaeological sites, but it remains a topic of debate at most sites due to the difficulty in distinguishing naturally occurring fires from those made by hominins. Researchers must carefully analyze the context and characteristics of burned materials to conclude human activity. The most recent evidence of fire use for cooking was published in 2022. Research was done on the Jesher Benat Yaakov site in Israel. In this paper, Dr. Irit Zohar compares all the evidence of actual fire use versus natural fire and the burned remains of fish. At this site, they were clearly using fire to cook fish. Wonderwork Cave is one of the most compelling sites with evidence of early fire use and has yielded archaeological deposits spanning over 2 million years. Charred bones and ashes of plant materials dating back to approximately 1 million years ago have been found within the cave. The burned materials were discovered deep inside the cave, suggesting they were not the result of natural wildfires. In Cubiphora, patches of reddened sediment and burned stones, dating to over 1 million years ago, were found. These suggest localized heating consistent with the use of fire, rather than exposure to the sun or natural fires. Jesher Benat Yaakov has yielded charred wood and seeds in distinct clusters, suggesting controlled use of fire. spatial organization indicate they were not the result of a natural fire. In Jukudian, charred bones, ash layers, and burned stone artifacts found at the site indicate the use of fire. However, there has been ongoing debate about whether these remains were the result of natural fires. Cooking food increases its caloric value by breaking down complex carbohydrates and proteins, making it easier to digest. It would have sterilized food to protect against harmful bacteria, assisting in longer lives and brain development. Fire would have allowed Homo erectus to survive in colder climates, expanding their range into new territories, and would have made living in caves and shelters more comfortable and safer from predators. Gathering around a fire would have facilitated social bonding and communication, giving them time to share knowledge. Evidence of fire use by Homo erectus is not consistently found across all sites. This could be due to preservation issues, differences in site usage, or varying levels of technological development. The evidence for fire use by Homo erectus, while compelling in several cases, remains a topic of active research and debate. The benefits of fire use would have been substantial, impacting their diet, survival, social structures, and technological advancements. Understanding the role of fire in Homo erectus life continues to be a key question in unraveling their story. Since they have traditionally been seen as a species that was primarily focused on survival, it can be a bit surprising that Homo erectus might have had the cognitive capacity for artistic expression. Here are a few examples of how they were, indeed, the first artists. Found in 2014, the Trinil shells are one of the most compelling pieces from the Trinil site in Java, where Homo erectus was first discovered. These shells have intentional geometric engravings and date to around 500,000 years ago. They suggest that Homo erectus might have had the ability to produce abstract patterns, which can be seen as a form of symbolic thought and potentially art. The Barakat Ram figurine, found in the Golan Heights and dated to around 230,000 years ago, is a piece of volcanic rock that some researchers believe was modified by Homo erectus to resemble a female figure. If it is indeed a figurine, it would be one of the earliest known examples of figurative art. Other forms of art include other shells from Indonesia that show signs of use and modification that might indicate an aesthetic component beyond mere functionality modified for their visual appeal. Although hand axes are primarily seen as utilitarian tools, some argue that the symmetry and refinement in their Acheulean hand axes indicate a sense of aesthetics and pride in craftsmanship, an early form of artistic expression. These findings suggest that Homo erectus had a level of cognitive complexity that might include the capacity for symbolic thought and artistic behavior. The debate continues as new discoveries and methods of analysis emerge, offering more insight into the lives and minds of our ancient ancestors. The extinction of Homo erectus appears to have been a gradual process influenced by a combination of environmental changes, competition with other hominins, and possibly limitations in technological and cultural adaptations. The last known populations in Java persisted until a little more than 100,000 years ago, but most other Homo erectus populations had disappeared by around 500 to 300,000 years ago. While the exact causes remain a subject of ongoing research, the interplay of climatic shifts, ecological pressures, and competition with later more advanced hominins likely played crucial roles in their eventual extinction. Homo erectus represents a significant stage in human evolution, known for its advancements in tool technology, use of fire, and migration out of Africa. Its fossils provide critical insights into the physical and behavioral evolution of early humans. Despite uncertainties surrounding some aspects of their lifestyle and reasons for extinction, Homo erectus remains a vital subject of study in paleoanthropology and critical to the understanding of evolution of who we are as a species. Do you have an idea of what species you'd like me to do next? Please leave your ideas in the comments, and don't forget to send me some love by hitting that like button.